Awesome. So, hi everybody. My name is Charles Oyamo from Stofresh. And my name is Charles Oyamo from the University of Nairobi, and I'm one of the co-founders at Stofresh. And what we are doing at Stofresh is digitizing informal smallholder agriculture across sub-Saharan Africa. So why do we do this? Because across sub-Saharan Africa, smallholder farmers are some of the poorest people. I know this because I grew up more than 300 kilometers away from Nairobi in a small farming community. And I could see every single day how hard my mother struggled to make ends meet. You see, we depended on a 1.5 acre piece of land for economic income. But the reality was that this land was too small for us to meet retail demand. So my mom was forced to sell off to middlemen on cash-based transactions, and the pay was really minimal. So she was forced to borrow money to take us through the next farming season. This kept us in a cycle of abject poverty. But the sad reality is that this was not only a case that was our preserve, because more than 30 million smallholder farmers across sub-Saharan Africa experience the same thing. Because agriculture is highly fragmented and farmers lack direct access to markets for their produce. And so they are forced to sell off to middlemen. And the transactions between farmers and middlemen are usually cash based and they are informal. So there's absolutely no way of tracking the payments made and the sales done by smallholder farmers. So this means that smallholder farmers are locked out of the formal financial services. Today, 70% of the poor people in our rural communities are smallholder farmers, yet we have 60% of the world's arable land. If we don't do anything to fix this, we are on a we're on a highway to hell with our foot at the accelerator pedal. So what are you doing at Stofresh to fix this? So Stofresh is a farmer-first digital fresh produce supply chain that begins with the farmer having an encounter with one of our agents. And the reason we went for agents was because we realized that smallholder farmers are the relationship between us and smallholder farmers are built on trust. So our agents are primarily members of those communities that are highly trusted individuals. And the agents are able to onboard farmers using an SMS chatbot. With this data, we are able to now feed it into our algorithm that's able to schedule pickup and drop-off points for the fresh produce. Uh, this enables us to get data on these farmers that we could use and we could use in partnership with third-party lenders to extend credit services to smallholder farmers. But more importantly, the long run of what we are trying to do ropes back to making smallholder agriculture a profitable and scalable venture for smallholder farmers. So we began a couple of months ago, and when we started Youth in Development Fellowship, Stofresh was just an idea. But today we've gone ahead into completing our proof of concept. We've registered over 400 farmers on our platform, and we have a partnership to move 19.2 tons of fresh produce. In the next year, we are looking at registering 300 agents onto our platform to help us onboard 15,000 smallholder farmers. And by doing this, we are able to break even in quarter four of 2026. So the market opportunity in terms of the impact that agriculture can have in our community is extremely huge. We're looking at a market valued at over $1 billion in Kenya alone, but we're primarily focusing on three value chains: tomatoes, potatoes, and onions. And if you look at the whole African context, we are moving 73 metric tons of produce. So if you could move this produce digitally on Stofresh, this provides us with an incredible opportunity to really impact the lives of smallholder farmers. But the reason, but we are not alone in this, and but apologies for that. But we understand that we really need to make business sense out of this, and that's why our revenue model is very simple. We are making money through three key ways. Primarily, today we are making money by a 15% markup on the produce that is sold on our platform on a product that's sold on our platform. We're envisioning to do a 2% transaction cost on all the transactions done on our platform as an extra source of revenue, but we are eyeing to have a 5.2% share on the credit that will be lent to our farmers using our solution. We are looking at competition as a good thing in terms of ensuring that farmers get the most out of their produce. But from a business point of view, to us, competition is anybody who's taking produce from smallholder farmers today. And that's our traditional middlemen, food distributors, and fresh produce exporters. How we distinguish ourselves from them is number one, we're extremely farmer first in our solution. Number two, through our partnership, we're offering farmers a reliable market. And then number three, and most importantly, by giving farmers digital identities, We are able to become the first agri-tech on the continent to do this. Uh, so the team behind Stofresh are children of smallholder farmers who are really passionate about the impact this can have in the community. We're advised by a team of experts, Professor Richard Tracy, who's the former vice president of the Global Coaching Alliance, and engineer Jen Mutilili, who advises us in terms of technology. So today, when we have 60% of the world's arable land, and when Africa is the second most hit continent in terms of food insecurity, we are at the tipping point of changing the way we eat and the way we produce and the way we consume food on the continent. So join us in this journey of changing the lives of smallholder farmers. Thank you.